Alrighty, so there I am getting out of yet another Zoom meeting, and I do what I do after every meeting, and I check my phone. And lo and behold, there's a notification that Arcade1up official is live on Instagram. So I, of course, had to check this out. And let's not bury the lead. They leaked a claw machine. So let's stop talking about it and let's get into it. All right, guys, as I mentioned, Arcade1up, David McIntosh went live on Instagram, and I, of course, do what I recorded this thing for posterity's sake because I don't know if you can pull it up after the fact. So I thought I'd share this live stream with you, and we will take a closer look at that leaked Arcade1up claw machine. Clearly a prototype, may or may not ever come out, but I personally love claw machines. I've wanted one myself for a long time. They're fairly expensive to get a commercial one, and to know that, hey, potentially Arcade1up with their lower cost like replicas may come out with one, that actually excites me. I'd actually buy one of those, even if it's kind of cheapy junky, just to have one. I love claw machines. So uh, let's get into it. Let's live react with these. I'll react alongside you. Of course, I've actually already seen it, and I went through and kind of tried to blow this up, and I had to remove some, notifications that came in while it was going. But I wanted to give you a good look. There's a lot of people posting comments, and so Arcade1up actually, David answers a few of these. They clearly went live to promote the release today of the NBA Jam Slim Katie. You can see he's basically getting set up to live stream or his play with this to demo it. So it's strange, you don't hear from Arcade1up for over a year, really, and then suddenly they just out of the blue are in this live stream. So let's take a look. And guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I know KFB, Dragon Gamer, Stupid Fat Hobbit, Cornercade, Carlo, Bobby Broadway. Thanks, guys, for jumping in. And let's just get going. And let me know if there's any issues with the sound. You should be able to hear this. And we'll stop all throughout and kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. Pinball, specifically Star Wars.
Give me one in the chat if you can hear them.
House of the Dead. I don't have anything we can say about that.
Mostly at the beginning here, it's just a bunch of people spitting out all these different games they'd like to see. And David just saying how cool all those games are.
Bulls versus Magic. Guitar Hero, love the idea. That one's a tough one. Think about the licensing implications for doing a game like Guitar Hero. Love the idea though. Let's show who. Jurassic Park would be sick. Big fan. I'm actually a big fan of Halo too. Dave and Buster's is my favorite one. The
Console
one
fanboy, I do not know if live
arcade
streams on Insta stick around. So that's why I screen grabbed it while it was on.
Yes. Yeah. I thought our team had a solution to the PCBA on the pinball machines, meaning like they figured out a way to improve the heat dissipation, if you will. Any?
Yeah, I'm gonna just move you to the side.
Yeah, no problem. Sounds good. All
Will
right.
you answer questions?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so there you go. There's our first shot of this claw machine. He just moved, and when he moved, the camera followed him, and lo and behold, there it is, sitting just over his right shoulder.
Golden Axe. Actually, I'm gonna grab this stool over here. We did a Golden Axe a little while ago. It was a lot of fun.
This is where P-Dubs jumps in and says, hey, nice claw machine. And then I notice it and say, hey, what's up with that claw machine back there?
Tech King, great suggestion.
And listen to these whispers.
Simpsons, Fast and the Furious, Spy Hunter, love the suggestion. NHL, Open Ice would be sick. Can you trade in regular Arcade1up at a GameStop? I don't know, you have to ask GameStop. Jurassic Park shooter would be sick. We need a Karate Champ cab. I thought we did Karate Champ. No, we tried to. I don't think that went anywhere.
There's
Jurassic
P-dubs.
Park would
Let's
be
talk
dope.
about the
Baseball
claw
would be-
machine.
Yeah, baseball would be fun. I don't know. I'm not familiar with any baseball games. Showtime to NBA Jam. Would you guys look at other?
And I
NBA
hadn't seen
skins,
P-dub's
like, Showtime
message,
over,
but I
tournament
throw in there
edition
asking
and so on
about
and so forth.
what
Like, I
the
feel like
deluxe
NBA could use
format's
some,
going to be going forward.
Like an artwork refresh somewhere down the line. Virtual Fighter, Punch Out. Punch Out would be sick. Big fan of Tyson. Man, that shirt needs to be added with a purchase. We would consider selling the shirts. Would you guys buy
So there
these
they go,
shirts?
teasing that they'll sell the
Whoa.
shirts again, something we've all been
What's the
asking
deluxe
for,
format
shirts and
going
hats
forward?
forever, and they still don't do.
That's a good question. I think we're going to see how well this slim version is received, but I think the standard format's going to remain the same. DDR, that's a great suggestion. Adidas X NBA Jam, that's actually a great suggestion as well. WWE, love the suggestion. Love Arcade1up, need chance of a Sega Star Wars trilogy. Never say never. Sega Rally Racing with the wheel.
All right, here's where I'm
Racing,
dropping my,
honestly,
hey,
I
is
would-
that,
I would
this is
love
where
to
I
see,
just noticed
off-road.
it
That was my
back there.
favorite
Hey, is that a claw
driving
machine
game,
behind
if
you?
you can call it that.
And there's 19K Fox in the chat.
NFL Blitz,
And now you'll
tabletop,
hear the
arcade
whispers.
Punch-Out would be cool. Yes, I love that shirt. And I say Spy Hunter again. A great suggestion. Yeah, the shirt's nice. And it actually, like, out of all the shirts we've made, because we've made a lot over the years, this is probably the best one. Mortal Kombat 4, great suggestion. Home punching machine. Do you mean like one of those like ones that you just like walk up and it's like you clock like a speed bag? That's a great suggestion as well. Although I feel like that'd be really hard to do in our capacity because I couldn't imagine punching any of our arcade machines really hard and them doing well. Terminator currently available. I think T2 is in the marketplace. Double Dragon Cap, great suggestion.
And there's P-dubs. James, you see it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's that? Oh yeah. Yeah.
so there you saw, he gives the back look after she's like, you need to move over. We can see this thing. And then he's like, oh yeah. So before we go on, let's take a closer look at it, right? So here is a bigger picture because I heard some questions in there about what it says. Of course, it says claw machine across the top. You can see there. And then down here, it does say Arcade1up at the bottom. Some of the things you can tell besides the fact that next to it is that Best Buy kiosk, which is interesting that they have a Best Buy kiosk for Arcade1up in this room. So makes you think they actually designed and shipped that to the Best Buys. But what you can tell on this, and maybe I don't know if I can move myself very easily right now, but you can tell it's got kind of the rounded bottoms just like their cabinets do. Because my first thought was, hey, did they just take a claw machine and brand it for themselves? But I think as you look at this, you can see that it has the same kind of deluxe bottom with those rounded edges. You'll also notice the size. It seems to be very much on par with the deluxe cabinets over here on the right. Obviously, the ones on the right are actually closer to us in scale. So this claw machine is basically the same height as a deluxe cabinet. It's got the appears to be the same depth as a standard deluxe cabinet, but is clearly a mechanical claw machine. Looks like you have a door access here to put the prizes in. I don't know what they could possibly charge for something like this. Being mechanical seems like that would drive the cost way up on this, but I don't know. I mean, is this something that they could do for 500? Or are we looking 700, 750? I do not know. And KFB says What is the cab to the right? So on the right of the photo, whoop, you have the Golden Tee, and that looks like the Golden Tee XL. Then you got the MK2. I'm not sure what the one is next to MK2. It's kind of hard to tell. It might be an older one. Can't really see any of the things. Then, of course, you got the Time Crisis. You got what appears to be the Galaga Deluxe. There's a couple sit-down cabs here, and of course, the cab on the ground is the Shinko Hadouken. That's obviously Outrun and Star Wars. I think we've seen this row before in some of their other Instagram reels, but we've never seen back here, right? So you got that again, that Best Buy kiosk. We've got the prototype claw machine, which I do hope they really make. It looks like it also says Arcade1up here, which is on brand, right? You got to have at least 11 Arcade1up logos on an Arcade1up product. You can also see the size. It's, stool height is where the control panel is, which seems kind of low to me. But still, sadly, I would buy this because I want a claw machine in my arcade. Then it looks like we got some head-to-head, the small head-to-head things. That looks like it's probably the Miss Pac-Man one, the Pong one. I don't know what these other two things are. Maybe you guys do. But I wanted to give you a closer up look at that claw machine. Pretty interesting. Obviously, place to retrieve. You can imagine this might not be super expensive from the case side of things. It's just the mechanics, man. How much would that cost to have all that mechanical crane stuff in there? How reliable would it be? Very, very interesting. But you'll notice it's no coin mechs anywhere. So, it's got to be a real prototype, not something reskinned, which is pretty interesting. And of course, as KFB pointed out, it's been just about a year ago when Cyrus did a live stream where he inadvertently showed the box to what everybody presumes is a claw machine, and then claimed it was just some posters behind him. They have lots of posters hanging around. Well, apparently this is a giant poster of a claw machine that looks very, very lifelike. So let's get back to the video.
Give us a room tour.
And I'll take a look at what everybody's saying here. Yep, Time Crisis was a proto with the logo on there, absolutely. Okay, I would get it just to place all my kids' stuffed animals in it. Yeah, I mean, that for me, Stupid Fat Hobbit, that's actually kind of what I want to do with one, is I want to put stuff in it for my kids, and then as rewards for doing the right thing, things like that, they can go down and play the claw machine till they win something. I'd put a small bags of chips in it. There you go. Work for those snacks.
Off-road.
Yeah, Jason says it would certainly look nice, stuffed full of stuff.
The whispering is hot. Yeah, they like the
claw
ASMR
machine. I guarantee that claw is probably too weak to grab anything. Yeah, who knows how heavy you can put stuff in there.
Didn't do as good as we thought it would.
How cool would it be to have a claw machine to accent the home arcade? Yeah, this is something I would throw money at. So that's something I would shill. Is the claw machine. David McIntosh is a goof. I would let him manage a Target.
I think we're ready to start playing some games.
Maybe I'll re-upload the old video. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Height is designed for kids. Yeah, well, it's in line, David, with all their other cabs, right? So they probably call it the deluxe claw machine. I don't know, but it definitely is in line with the rest, which means it would look good in the arcade. Again, prototype may never actually see the light of day, and based on some of the stuff they've been making, I'm thinking that's probably the case. Cyrus straight up lied about the posters. Yeah, I don't think he fooled anybody there. I have a small bar, top claw machine on the bar with chocolate in it. My kids' friends play that more than they do the arcades. Oh yeah. I'd put, yeah, there you go. There you go, Big B. Interesting T2 didn't do well. Yeah, I mean, it was really expensive. I think that was $700 out of the gate, right, with 1 game in it.
Hey, it's game time.
Feedback from people, right, was that the guns were kinda cheap. So it's not too big of a shocker. I think, maybe if they had somehow been able to put more games on it or
No
drop that
way.
price way down, it would have
That
been
was a
different.
foul. All right, so you got the ball and you're going.
The original League Year had much different artwork, more a treasure or ocean theme. Absolutely, which they could be two different things, right? So it might not even be for this. It could have been they built this and decided this was going to be too expensive or too difficult and went to try and build
He
a
should not have had possession.
digital claw machine. I don't think anybody would really want a digital claw machine, and maybe this is the result of nobody wanting the digital claw machine, and they went back and said, "Can we make mechanical one?" Who knows what the order is, but this one I would buy. A digital one I
Just bring
would
it to the
not.
net. Yep. All right.
Goofy Foot says A1up better include an out of order sign with the claw machine. I can't see them. They 100%. I don't know how
Very
you build
stable.
a
They're
claw
shaking it and it's
machine
not
with a
going
lot
anywhere.
of reliability
Someone
at an
asked, how
affordable
stable
price.
is the new
Again, it's
slim design?
mechanical, and so not only do you have to have all the controller
Yeah.
boards, all the settings to make the claw adjustable in strength for whatever you're putting in there.
That was goaltending. Like,
Yeah,
really.
it seems problematic.
One of the things you guys probably can't
Arcade
see
Dave
is it has
says,
like a
I would put the
fancy
Wi-Fi
tip
password in it and
kickstand
have my
at the
kids spend
bottom,
money
so it
for
actually
chances to
really
try.
helps
Yeah.
stabilization on it.
Do you think the
There we go.
lost the A1 the one up official password to their YouTube, and that's why they went live on Instagram? Who knows? Galaga guys, certainly they've been doing a lot on Instagram. They post on there usually multiple times a day. So if you're looking to hear from Arcade1up, that's the place to do it. And probably TikTok. I'm not on TikTok to know. I don't want Chinese spy apps on my phone. But Instagram, they're on there quite often. So I give them credit for actually trying something, for actually going live and celebrating this. Here they're talking about, they're going to start talking about the stability of this game. And we should also point out that David McIntosh is getting schooled here. It's like, I think 4 to 16 by somebody who's never played the game. He has to explain to her how to play.
We'll get him in the next one.
They're playing, and they talked about how stable it was, and said they thought it was really stable. So when did this live happen? This live happened around 2 o'clock today in Central Time.
Thank you guys for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We hear you guys loud and clear.
Noon on the West Coast, or if you're in P-Dub's area in Phoenix, where they don't do time zones in that area of the mountain time zone.
Available now, NBA Jam. Get it at all major retailers. Thank you.
And so there you go. I mean, that's pretty much was the stream that I caught. I think when they just started, they were talking about they were going to show that off, and then we're having trouble setting up the Wi-Fi password. I missed that part because I joined a little after it had started, not knowing it was going to happen. They seemed to just fire it off and go live. I think the whole stream maybe lasted 10 or 15 minutes. If I would try to do a Sega one with different modes. King Ed, thanks for joining us. And he says, anyone see a Robotron machine? Nope, there was no Robotron back there. King Nod. The other thing I thought was interesting is he didn't seem to know that they had done a Karate Champ. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have Burger Time, but isn't Karate Champ on Burger Time? That's why there's all the joysticks and stuff. So it is interesting that he didn't know that the story behind that. Maybe I do think he joined after that, perhaps. Jason, you have a good memory. Yes, it was Treasure Cove. Yeah, I remember the community went crazy trying to figure out what the fonts were on that poster. Instant TikTok or alien to me. If you don't want it, rest assured, OneUp will make it. Yeah, that's their business model, right? So you also may have heard in there they were asked about how successful the Midway Golden Tee cab was. I think it's probably a little early, but they said "Hey, it's doing great." So take that for what it is. I know we've seen in a few people's videos that it looks like the stock had been moving pretty swiftly for the places that had it. Again, not a cab I would recommend to anybody. It's got so many problems with controls, the placement of controls, you name it. But some people like it. More power to those that do, I guess. I guess whack-a-mole could be a touchscreen one-up thing. It absolutely. DMAX said he wants to talk to us more. I'm going to clear my schedule after that stream. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they did something. Like I said, there's some communication, even if it's is what it is. Um, yeah, it's on burger time. That's what I thought, Galaga guy. He said, talk more, not listen more. I guess One Up is not dead. They just suck really badly. Yeah, I mean, they're not dead. I think it's been said by multiple people. They're not dead, but they're dead to us, right? Like they're not making stuff that this community wants, that arcade enthusiasts wants. They're making multicades at this stage. Stuff for casuals, high likelihood of sales, um, which is fine. That's gonna make them money. It's just is there staying power in doing what a million other people are doing? Uh, Zombies and laugh out loud. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. It happened just a little while ago. I had to jump on to edit this video down a little bit to make sure I hit any notifications I was getting from other things. But I wanted to give you a closer look into that cab, let you know the few questions they answered in case you missed it, because you know, live over on Instagram. That's not like there's a ton of people watching. So appreciate you joining, appreciate you stopping by and participating and engaging. If you are new here, hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Of course, ring the bell for notifications. And if you liked this video or stream, be sure to hit the like button. And I would love, if you're joining us late, I would love to know your thoughts on this claw machine. Uh, like I said, it could never see the light of day. It's just a prototype, but I would buy this one. You can call me a shill on this one. It's legit. I would buy it. I've wanted a claw machine forever. Just don't want to spend, over $1,000 on one. So if they can make one at a reasonable price, I'd be all in. Of course, I'd be all in with anybody that made one at a reasonable price. I've been looking at a few different ones. They make smaller ones, but they tend to go for uh, quite a pretty penny, because that's what it costs to build a functional claw machine. So we may never see this. I think it's highly unlikely, but if it does, I'm all in. So again, thanks for joining us, everybody. And until next time, have fun.